There's the championship 4.
To see a driver dig down, you know, you want to see that.
Little kid drove his ass out. I'm proud of him.
What do you think that final lap?
Reddick is not done with yet. Tyler Reddick just drives all the way around Ryan Blaney. Can you believe what you just saw? Reddick's going to Phoenix. Ryan Blaney's not losing anything here in Martinsville. He wins and is going to Phoenix.
How do you thrive and how do you look forward to that pressure? Because it's a privilege to have that pressure. It means you're doing something special.
And his teammate at Team Penske, Joey Logano, can become a 3-time Cup Series champion.
You've let a man in that knows how to get to the front and get a win.
How far would the house money carry Joey Logano?
Holy crap, what a turn of events the last week.
Yeah, we're plenty capable. It's one of my best tracks. It's one of Rudy's best tracks, so we're excited for that.
Welcome into the NASCAR Productions facility in Concord, North Carolina for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship 4 Media Day. It is championship week and we are excited to get to Phoenix after a thrilling 2024 season and a playoffs filled with wow moments. I'm Kim Coon and I'm joined by the Championship 4 Media drivers, so let's meet them. First up, we have Joey Logano, driver of the 22 Penske Ford, making his 6th Championship 4 appearance, seeking his 3rd title. Tyler Reddick, driver of the number 45 2311 Toyota, making his 1st Championship 4 media appearance. Ryan Blaney, driver of the number 12 Penske Ford, making his 2nd consecutive Championship 4 appearance, seeking back-to-back titles. And William Byron, driver of the number 24 Hendrick Chevrolet, making his 2nd consecutive Championship 4 media appearance and seeking his 1st title. So over the last 35 points-paying races, these 4 drivers have battled their way into the championship. So let's start right there. How would each of you describe your season and your run to the championship race? Joey, we'll start with you.
I'd say our season's been quite the up and down. Fired out of the gates, I felt like pretty strong and just kind of had some interesting things happen during the races. And summer months weren't quite where we wanted it to be. And I feel like we just kept working and trying different things and hitting on a couple things here and there and starting to build some momentum. And then as the playoffs started, we were able to obviously kick off the playoffs in Atlanta with a solid note with a win there and just win the important races. And that's really worked out for us at this point.
Tyler?
Yeah. A typical year for us. It starts off a little rocky. Not getting the good finishes, but pretty quickly this year around, we started hitting off with top 10s and top 5s. And in a lot of races where drivers seem to have adversity, we'd somehow avoid the calamity and get solid finishes. And yeah, over the summer months, we were just clicking really good, and that led us to the regular season championship. Playoffs, on the other hand, were a bit rocky for us for sure. Just seemed like everything that was going right was now going wrong, and we really just had to survive each round. And at the right time, we kind of went for it at Homestead, and it paid off.
Ryan?
I feel like it's been a great year for us. Maybe some finishes that we wouldn't have liked to seen just from getting caught up in wrecks and stuff, but I feel like our group's been incredibly strong, building off of last year, learning what made us strong, what were our weaknesses, and trying to work on those weaknesses. So I'm incredibly proud of the grit and determination of our group. And yeah, to do what we did last week was great, and kind of backs up against the wall and needing to do it and accomplishing that's fantastic. So nice to have another chance.
William?
Yeah, I feel good about our season. We've honestly been really consistent throughout the playoffs, and we start the years really strong, so we got off to a really hot start, and just feel like through the summer had to learn some things, had to try some stuff, and then once we got back into our rhythm in the playoffs, it's been really good. So happy with where we are and excited for this weekend.
All right, Tyler, I want to go to you. You're making your debut in the Championship 4 for the Cup Series. How are you feeling in that?
Really good. The Cup Series and Xfinity Series are certainly different, but feels like the emotions and where I'm at mentally is similar to where I was those other 2 years. Obviously, it's a different track, racing against proven Cup drivers, Cup champions, but I feel really good about where we're at currently.
And there's been so much coverage of Michael Jordan, his excitement over you making the Championship 4. Has he offered you any advice once you've made it into the championship race?
Yeah, he's been a little busy, but I feel like on my end we're in a really good spot. We've definitely had opportunities throughout the year to catch up before the race, before going into the race weekend, and I'm looking forward to those conversations as we approach Phoenix. But But I feel like as a whole, our group's in a really good spot going into this exciting weekend.
Joey, you won the round of 8 opener. Both times you went on to win the championship. So much is made about the extra 2 weeks you get, the extra focus. Realistically, how much of an advantage is it?
I really believe it is for a lot of different reasons. One, you think of Monday morning right after you get done winning in Vegas, you get to the shop and you start thinking of, okay, how do we get ready for Phoenix? And even the little things that a lot of people don't think about, logistics, right? How are you going to get people out there? Who's going to go to the race? Those distractions that happen on this week are really hard to try to navigate all of that when you have a short week as it is, right? Most everyone's cars, I assume, are getting loaded up tonight to get shipped out. That doesn't give you much time from Martinsville to Phoenix to get all those last-second little preparations done. So being able to get that done allows us to really focus in even more this week, which does give an advantage when you get to the racetrack. So it's worked for us in 18 and 22, so hoping it works again in 24.
It's worked before. You've been here before. When do the other 3 teams finally catch up?
Hopefully they don't.
Any thoughts to that comment?
I mean, we'll see. We're all going to think equally going with an approach to practice, and I would assume we'll all be curious of where we stack up with one another on that Friday practice, but I think we're all equally excited to get there and see what we got.
All right, William, there was and is a lot of noise surrounding the Martinsville finish. How do you quiet all that as you head to Phoenix and just focus on winning a championship?
Just like I always do. I feel like I'm pretty internally focused and motivated, so just feel like our team is really focused. And there's a lot of noise, but none of it surrounds my team. So our team is ready to go. We had a great season last year, great car last year, so we have a lot to learn from that and try to apply that to this year. We
didn't get to really see you guys celebrate making it into the championship 4. Since Sunday, have you guys kind of had a moment to take it in and just get excited about Phoenix?
Yeah, we had some team meetings and things like that. So feel good about those, and just feel good about where our team is and the preparation. And had a long day yesterday preparing, but think we're ready.
You're making back-to-back Championship 4 appearances. Last year was your first year as a part of it. What was the lesson learned, the biggest lesson learned?
Just the progression through the weekend, and it's a longer weekend than what we're used to. It's 50 minutes of practice. It's qualifying on its own, so there's a lot to learn about the race car and about pit selection and how the track progresses. So just putting all those things to the test and having those notes is good.
Ryan, you are the defending champ. You've got the patch on right there. But as we look at the spring Phoenix race, of the 4 drivers right here, you are the only one that finished in the top 5. Do you feel like, considering you're the defending champ, considering the Phoenix spring race, that you are the favorite headed into this weekend?
I don't think you can really pick a favorite. I mean, Phoenix has been a good place for us as a group, especially the last, few years. But it's still going to be just as hard as anything else. Like, you got to expect everyone's going to come with their best stuff. Everyone is competitors, and they understand what we're going for. So I don't think you can pick a favorite. I mean, it's nice that we have run pretty well at this place, but you can never really look at that solely as like, I expect to run well here again, right? You still have to put the work in, and you still have to understand that if you do, maybe if you're off the pace, how do you figure it out, and how do you get where you need to be? So, no, I just try to figure out how can we be our best each and every given weekend, no matter the past history of a racetrack.
Last year, as you were kind of going on your championship run, you shared some fun anecdotes about your dad and his vision for the path to the championship. What have been his words of wisdom this time around?
Yeah, Dad's become like a philosopher, I guess, in the last couple of years, which is funny. And, I talked about it last year and in the winter of, the first time my dad ever did it was really telling me he saw this path to us winning the championship, and he stuck by it. And, he said, you're still on the same path. You've never left that road since last year. And we had I gave the race away at Miami, and he sent me this long text message and really ended it with, the path is still there. It's just a little muddy, but they make cleats for that sort of thing. So we just had to strap our cleats on at Martinsville and go get after it. And, hopefully we can still make a run at it here this weekend.
Joey, you're the only one up here with multiple championships. You're looking for your 3rd. If you do it, you'll be only the 11th driver to win 3 or more championships in the Cup Series. How does winning multiple championships elevate your career?
I think just like in most sports, you're judged by the amount of rings you have. And championships are definitely a really solid measuring tool to stack your career up against others. And we have another great opportunity to do that. So, yeah, that would be amazing, not only for myself, but I got to think about the guys on my team. Everyone at Team Penske, at Ford. When you win these championships, you don't realize how large the impact really is. You look at it individually sometimes, and I think as race fans we look at the driver a lot, but when you think about the team and the bonuses that come along with it and the morale and that momentum that continues year after year, right? Blaney got to experience some of that last year, and that is just, it's hard to put a value on what that really is and what that means for your moving forward, more than just, having a 2X or a 3X on your suit. I mean, that's great, but the impact it makes for so many families is really what I think makes them set apart from any other race.
Typically, this is for you and Ryan. Penske's strength has been having all the teams uniting to help one car in the championship race. This is only the second time in Team Penske history that they've had two cars going for one championship in the Cup Series title race, the other being 2020. You were a part of that. What are the challenges of having two cars going for one title?
Well, I think one of the advantages we've had is being able to lock in early. We were both at the shop here before we came down here today, and our car is pretty much done, right? They're just kind of fluffing and buffing and coming up with practice plans and small stuff. And there's a lot of people around the 12 still working on that, right? And being able to lock in early is what I'm saying, is that there's more resources to where we can, try to get the 12 equally as prepared as the 22 is. So, I think that's definitely going to help us get along there. And anytime you can have more bullets ready go for a championship, I think Roger's going to be excited about that. And so we got a great shot at it.
No, I don't think there's really any challenges. I feel like that's kind of made up from the outside. Like, it just is double the effort, of having two opportunities to bring a championship to Team Penske. Joey got talking about all the people that it affects and their families, and these folks, they live and breathe this sport and what they do and how they work tirelessly on these race cars. And, there's hundreds of people, thousands of people that have some impact on what we do involved in the team. So I think it's just nice that we have double the chance to try to bring one home for everybody there. And I don't think it's any disadvantage whatsoever.
At what point, because it begs the question, do you stop being teammates through the course of the weekend or the course of the race?
I don't think it happens. I think we have to work together. We know why we got here, right, and why we have strong cars and why we are able to have teams that work together. And our cars are being prepared right now, right next to each other. The crew chiefs were talking to each other directly. Engineers sit next to each other. That teamwork that is instilled into our company doesn't waver. It has to be that way. And I always remember when I first started driving for Team Penske, one of the first things Brad told me was, I'd rather you beat me and finish second than me win and finish 23rd, right? Beat you and finish 23rd. So we have to have the mentality of that. If either one of us wins, it's great, right? Obviously, you want to be the one driving it into victory lane, but if it's not me, obviously seeing another Ford or another Penske car getting in there, that's the next best thing.
All right, for Reddick and for William, you guys are both going after your first title in the Cup Series. What would it mean to add that to your resume?
It'd be huge. For me, one of the reasons, if not the sole reason, I wanted to be a race car driver was to hopefully one day race in the Cup Series, and if everything went right, have the opportunity to race for a championship. This moment coming up on Sunday is why 24 years ago I wanted to become a race car driver, and it's cool to see it that we're one step closer, but we got a lot of work ahead. It'd be huge for me personally, as these guys mentioned, right? It's not just me in the race car, it's for the team, it's for the whole organization. For 2311 to be in its fourth year, and be in this, have this opportunity in front of us is a huge moment. It's just been really cool to see over the last week and a half, all the efforts from everyone at 2311, from Joe Gibbs Racing, everyone working together to really make this car as good as it can be.
William?
Huge. It so many people work hard to get to this point, and there's so many people on our team that it would be big for. So yeah.
As you look at kind of your run and Hendrick's run, Team Hendrick started with 4 drivers in the playoffs. Now they only have 1 going for a championship. How different is the pressure being the only Hendrick driver in the championship for trying to bring back a title versus last year you had a teammate that was kind of part of the effort too?
It's actually, we have so many people working on my car, so it's a huge blessing to have so many smart minds and so many good people at Hendrick Motorsports and Chevrolet to be working on our stuff. And that's been the teamwork that I've seen over the last handful of days for sure.
Why do you guys like seeing the championship race at Phoenix? Start with you.
I think, for one, the fans are great there. You look at the turnout, it's sold out again. They've been selling it out ever since the Championship 4 has been there. So I think it puts on some good racing. The track is getting weathered more, which is a good thing. Where the track's getting wider, more passings available. Tire strategies are a little bit more available than what it's been in the past. So the racing's getting really good there over time. So they got a good facility. They got good weather. And honestly, I don't really care where it's at. If I'm going to be real, it's just I'm going to race where they tell me to go racing. And, thankfully, it's a good racetrack for us.
Tyler?
Yeah, I feel like it's a track where every detail, every part of what makes a good team all comes to fruition there. Like, you have to have it all. You have to be good on pit road all day. You have to have a good car on restarts. You have to have the right mindset for restarts. The long run matters. All phases of what makes a good team matters at Phoenix. And so that's what makes it exciting when I think about it.
Yeah, I agree with both those guys, and that track's aged pretty well. Like, was repaved, I think, 12 years ago, and it's just gotten to where I think you can use most of it. So that's always nice. And hey, there's maybe a few other tracks that could probably contend with it of putting on a good show. There's good shows that go on at every racetrack, but I think the area itself, that Phoenix area in November is pretty gorgeous, and it just makes a great setting. So, and I think the track difficulty of having 2 different ends makes a challenge for the teams going there, and can kind of make you scratch your head. So, I think that challenge is something that we face going to Phoenix, and I think that's interesting. Like, if you're a racer or part of a team, like, how are you going to make it work? And I hope the fans would think the same thing. Like, how are these teams going to approach these 2 different ends of the speedway, and drivers trying to change up your driving style to do it? So it has a lot of great features.
Yeah, that's where it is. So I'm excited.
All right, let's finish with, you guys have raced each other all year long. You know what each brings to the table. You guys have heard your responses right here. Of the 3 other drivers, who do you think is your biggest competition?
I don't know if you can pinpoint one of them, right? You're going to have to beat them all to win this thing. So, and most likely you're going to have to win the race. You're going to have to beat the rest of the cars out there too. So I don't know if you can pinpoint anything. You can look at each team and find strengths and weaknesses within each one for different reasons. And probably a lot of it depends on how the race plays out, on who really's got the advantage or who's going to be the hardest to beat. I think it's a fairly equally matched. Just depends on how the race plays out. I think that's it. So I feel like we have a really well-rounded race team that can pull it off, though.
I think we're going to get diplomatic answers from all, but we'll go down the line still.
Yeah, I think you hit on it, right? Like, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, but in these moments it is important to focus on what you can control. That's your team, that's your car, that's what what can you do to help yourself from the time you hit the racetrack on Friday. So yeah, it's no secret where some of us have strengths and some of us have weaknesses, but we've kind of see it play out through the year. But there's a reason each of us have gotten here, and it's going to be a tough fight for sure.
Yeah, diplomatic answers for sure. And I think you're going to have a better idea Friday, kind of seeing where everyone stacks up, and then you kind of have a better idea. But I can kind of cheat that question on this one because I have a teammate, and we kind of got the same stuff. So I would think Joey, because hopefully it makes my stuff good too. So
yeah,
I kind of could cheat it, and I would say Logano.
William?
Yeah, it's just going to come down to execution and just being there at the right time. So, this race is freeing because it's all about the finish, and so it's just trying to get to there.
It does sound like we need to re-ask this question after practice on Friday. You guys, thank you so much for the time. Good luck this weekend in Phoenix. We cannot wait to see you guys battle it out. Fans, don't forget, though, these drivers aren't the only ones competing for championships this weekend. It is an action-packed weekend from Phoenix Raceway. On Friday night, we will crown our NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion. On Saturday, we'll find out the NASCAR Xfinity Series champion, and then it all culminates on Sunday from Phoenix Raceway. Again, Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and William Byron going head-to-head to find out who will be the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series champion. We appreciate you joining us live on this stream. Safe travels if you're headed to Phoenix, and we'll see you there for championship weekend.
10 months of work, all comes down to this.
Just in front of them, the opportunity for a title.
Here we go. Lock in, fellas.
One last exhale.
No reason why we can't do this. Let's go get a championship, baby!
This Sunday, 4 drivers will battle for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship at Phoenix Raceway. Join us for the Phoenix pre-race show as we talk live with the Championship 4, plus other celebrities and special guests, as we get ready to make history and crown the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series champion. Catch it all Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on NASCAR's YouTube, Facebook, and X.